So, okay, it is Saturday, early morning. Here, lay down. Come on, lay down. And it's actually still dark out. Lizzie had a little bit of a rough night last night. Just diarrhea, upset stomach, but I think we're bouncing back. Puppies are doing pretty well. They're just starting to eat. So I thought I would film that. Maybe you can hear with the milk when it lets down. And these guys actually, so people think that when puppies are eating like this, that they just latch on and milk comes right out. But that's not actually what happens. And this little guy back here is having some trouble. Sorry, my hand's in the way. I just want to make sure everybody's on. What actually happens is they have to work to get the milk out. Here's a booby over here. How about that one? Nobody seems to want it. So they actually have to work at it, and they've been at it for a couple of minutes before I actually started filming. And then you'll hear, like once they stop pulling, like you see I'm pulling, you'll actually be able to hear them sometimes drinking. I can hear them all the time. I don't know if I can capture that or not. Little boy over here is a little darker today than he was yesterday. See that one down there or not? Yeah, I guess he does. He uses both of his feet. It's hysterical. They usually use one foot at a time and push. He uses both of his feet at the same time. So let me pause for a minute. Also, you know, when they're drinking, when the milk comes, then their tails usually go up high. It's funny because it just seems like it's just a very pleasurable experience to be eating. I think one person's getting milk. See his nose? I'm not sure why these guys aren't yet. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but two of these guys are drinking. So someone was asking me about the colors, and yeah, this little boy, this solid red, he looks like he's brown. They were asking, is he brown? This is actually what red looks like when they're babies. And it can be in different shades, but this is one of the darkest shades of red. until that black starts. Well, as he grows, the black gets less and less, except for his black tail. That'll stay most likely because his father has a black tail and seems to pass that on to his puppies, which is actually really cool when they're full grown. Can you hear it? And his nose is starting to come in. Oopsie, let me see if I move over here out of the way. See the pink, it's starting to get colored in, and every day it'll get darker and darker. Hers is actually almost all the way dark. So he's exhausted the milk in his, and he'll start looking now for another place to drink. And she's holding on real tight. She's like, you're not getting my spot. Now the ones in the back, the boobs in the back, the teats in the back, those are the ones that are the most full. So if we have a teeny tiny pup in a litter, we'll usually, if their mouth is big enough to go on a larger one in the back, we'll usually put them in the back. But our bigger dogs, our bigger pups in a litter, they get smart and they know where they're going to get the most milk, and so that's a prime position. So you see him trying to work more milk out. And there is another teat back here that's under this little guy that nobody's gotten to yet. So Lizzy, usually the mama will either flip upside down or roll to the other side so the pups can get to the ones underneath. They can get to the ones underneath, they just have to push and fight. But that just helps their limbs and makes them stronger. You can see that he's darkening a little bit too. This is our little white pup, but it looks like he's got a little white stripe on the top of his head. That wasn't there before. It wasn't noticeable before, and the only way that it can become noticeable is if he turns darker than he is. And so he is starting to get a little gold on him. And it looks like he's going to have a little bit of a white blaze too. But even his body, as I'm looking at it, his body is looking a little darker. Than it's no longer that crisp white that he was. I may actually have worked out a little bit more of a meal today, so... there's the... Well, let me put him over here because you've had a ton. Come on. Thank you. You better get it before he gets it. Oh, good. Okay, well, that's a little bit of a long video, but you can see that everybody's doing well, eating well, gaining weight. Well, I haven't weighed them this morning, but I did weigh them last night, and they had gained. And so we're coming up on that time to see if they double their weight or not. And if they, in this case, if they didn't, if they were just even shy of doubling their weight, I don't think they will be. But these guys seem very, very healthy, very, very active, boisterous. So, very happy with all four.